Hello, I'm Jordi from Two Tomatoes and I will be your host in this video about how to play Run Bug Run. First thing, players need to choose one of the different bugs of the game. Once they choose the bug that they want, they will keep the bug pawn and then they will keep the associated card which has all the information that they need about the bug. It has the bug type here, it has the turbo value, it has the strength value, it has the defense value, and also has the special ability here on the bottom. If that bug has a special ability that requires different cards, like for example the Scorpion can give poison to the other bugs, then the Scorpion player would get the corresponding cards, corresponding penalty cards. Second thing, you have to assemble the different decks that are in the game. The game has 4 decks. It has the leaf card deck, which has the leaf cards. Leaves are used to pay for different things in the game, like the resource, the money from the game. Then there's the resource cards, which can be movement cards or combat cards. They usually cost lives, as you can see here. It's the cost in lives. Then we have the special cards deck, which have different backs, like the surprise cards. Those cards can be used at any time during the game, and you need to land on one of the surprise squares of the board tiles. And I'm going to show you some of them. They can be either combat or movement again. So, and the last deck that we have in the game is the wound or penalty deck. It's composed of these cards. I'm going to explain them later. So once we have the 4 decks assembled, we put them obviously face down, we shuffle them, and then it's time to assemble the circuit track. To do so, we use the board tiles and we can place them, we can mix and match them to do the circuit that we want to do. Okay? In this case, we always have a starting tile. This is for the open circuit, this is for the closed circuit, and then you have the finish tile. Okay? This is for the open circuit and this is for the closed circuit. So then players will roll the dice to see who is the first to play and then determine the player order. The goal of the game is to be the first to cross the finish line. So when you cross the finish line, you win. Then players take turns alternatively, starting with the first player. What can they do in their turn? First of all, they have to choose whether to draw from the leaf deck, okay, it has the leaf cards, or draw from the resource card deck. If they go last, if they're in last position, they are always going to get a free leaf card, and then they choose to draw either from the leaf card deck or the resource card deck. Then they go to the race phase. The race phase is composed of 2 actions, the movement action and the combat action. In the movement action, you always roll the dice, the movement dice first, and you move that number of spaces. You see the movement dice has values of 2, 3, 4, and this little value here, which is 4 plus the turbo. So you would move a number of spaces of 4 plus your turbo. Let's say that I'm playing with the Ladybird. The Ladybird has a turbo value of 2, so I would move 6 spaces total. When you're moving, you can move either through the corners of the squares or through the sides of the squares. I will show this later. Then, after you have rolled and moved, you can use a resource card of the category of movement cards. Like for example this one. You can easily recognize them because they are blue and they have the movement symbol here. This card, I could play it by paying 2 leaves and then I would move 2 extra spaces. Then combat action. In the combat action you have to choose one of 3 different possibilities. Either you use a resource card that you can use during combat. For example, here we have the Toad. You would have, it's a combat card. You would have to pay 3 leaves, and then I would choose a player and I would give him 2 wounds. 1 and 2 wounds. The other option that you have on the combat action is to attack another player. To attack another player, you have to pay a number of leaves equal to the distance between you and that other player. Then each bug has a strength attribute or value and a defense attribute or value. Each player will roll the normal die and add the result from the die to their attribute. So if I'm attacking, let's say that the Scorpion with a strength value of 5 is attacking the Ladybird that has a defense value of 5. So the Scorpion rolls a 1, and then would have a total attack value of 6, 1 plus 5. Then the Ladybird rolls a 5. So her total defense value would be 5 plus 5, 10. If the attack value is higher than the defense value, the defending player gets a wound too. And the last thing that you can do on your combat action is to use the special ability of your bug. For example, the Ladybird. Here we have it. It has a cost in leaves and then an explanation. In this case, you have to pay 4 leaves to look at another player's hand and then take 2 cards from it. After the race phase, you only have to discard. If you have a wound card, you will discard it. And if you have more than 5 cards, 5 other cards, be it resource cards or leaf cards, you just discard down to 5. Okay, what happens when you have a wound card? If at the start of your turn you have a wound card, the only thing that you can do on your turn is draw, either from the leaf deck or the resource deck, and then discard. At the end of your turn, you're going to discard 1 wound card. Note that if you already have 1 wound card, you can't get more wound cards. So basically, you're skipping a turn. And then the special cards that I didn't explain. To get those cards, the special cards, surprise cards, you have to end your movement into a surprise square. Then you would get that card. Some of them you have to reveal when you draw them. Some of them you can keep them and use them at any time, okay? As long as it makes sense. So now to clarify a little bit, I'm going to do just a couple of turns, okay? I'm going to play with the Fly, who's going to start in first position, and then I'm going to play also with the Ant, who's going to start on second position. So the Fly goes first. First thing, draw card. She's going to draw from the leaf deck, okay? So she draws a leaf card. Then, in this case, well, you can always use first the combat action and then the movement action, or the other way around. In this case, since they haven't crossed the starting line yet, they can't attack each other. So she's going to roll for movement dice, and she rolls a 3. So she can move as I said, from the corners or through the sides of the square. So she's going to do 1, 2, and then 3. So she lands on the surprise square. She gets 1 surprise card that she's going to keep for the moment. Then she could do an action. She could choose one of the possibilities for the combat action, but as I said, since the ant hasn't crossed the starting line yet, she can't do it. So now it's turn for the ant. The ant is going to draw from the leaf card deck. So she draws 1 leaf, and then she could attack the fly. But notice that she would have to pay 1, 2, 3 leaves. She only has 1 leaf, so she can't do that. So she's going to roll. She's going to go for the movement action. She rolls a die, and she rolls a 3-2. So she moves 1, 2, and 3. And now decides that since she's next to the fly, she's going to attack her. She has to pay 1 leaf, which she has. So she pays this leaf. The leaf is discarded, and then is going to roll. So we can see here that the ant has a strength of 3. The fly has a defense of 3 too. So I roll for the ant, and she rolls a 6. So she has an attack total of 3 plus 6, 9. Now, in order to be able to defend, the fly needs a 6 though. But she rolls only a 3. So 3 plus 3, total defense value of 6. Since 9 is higher than 6, the fly player gets a wound card. So she's going to skip the next turn. And in this case, since they're adjacent, the ant could swap places with the fly. Since the ant gets to a surprise spot, she would get a special card too. So well, that's basically the mechanics of the game. There's obviously, you have different special abilities, a lot of cards, resource cards, penalty cards, etc. But this is a good start for the explanation. We'll do more videos, bring you more content, so you know how to play the game exactly. Thanks for watching.